Next up, we have my sister Millie, Vivian.
I have worked in a lot of film and theater and television over the span of my career. I started as a dancer, and I wanted to take a break at a point. I was just feeling burnt out, and I went into the Debbie Allen Dance Academy, and I taught, and I became the associate artistic director of the school, and really took a step back from the performance spotlight. And one day my friend Cree Summer came in with her 2 daughters. She had enrolled them in the academy. We shared similar stories about, having this anxiety about auditioning and going into the room and not having enough time to prepare, and how that can stifle your artistry and people can't see you. And she said, check out my friend Charlie Adler, take his class. And so I took Charlie Adler's voiceover class. He's incredible. And from there, I learned how to put a reel together, and I pitched my reel to the agency I wanted to sign with, CESD, and they signed me. And I began to audition, which was amazing. And what drew me to voiceover was, the ideology that you can be anything you want to be, right? I don't have to be the black girlfriend. I don't have to be the black best friend. I can be the dragon. I can be the fairy. I can be the imp. I have this spectrum of characters that I wouldn't necessarily get to play if you were looking at my face. And so for that reason, I haven't felt pigeonholed. However, I will say it is a very, very difficult industry to break into. So I auditioned for this show in the midst of the pandemic, and my agents sent me the sides, and it said Southern accent, and the breakdown was for Millie. It was for an episode called Lululand. And so I was excited to get these sides because the character is an imp, and the things that come out of her mouth are unconventional and not like anything I've ever read for before. So I put on some heels and squeezed my knees together, and I read my sides. My husband recorded me. He's a producer and a director, and he does a lot of creative things. And I booked the role. So I went in, and they cast me not as Millie, but as Keeney, who is a cherub in the show, and she is a recurring role. And my agents called me the next day, and they said they would like to cast you as Millie. And I was like, who's Millie? Because I'd kind of forgotten, because months had passed. I didn't remember the sides that I had read. And instead of being a cherub, I'm now an imp from hell who's an assassin. So that's kind of how it all came about. And it's just been the most lovely journey, playing Millie and being a part of this cast and creative team. Millie's incredible because a big draw initially to her is not only is she badass, she's the tigress of the group, she's gonna get the job done, but her relationship with Moxie, who is also an assassin, but more brainy and sweet and kind. They're married, and people akin their relationships, the relationship of Moxie and Millie. So that was initially kind of what, that's what people talk about, is the relationship between Moxie and Millie. But what I love so much about her is that she is a lover, and she protects her husband, and she takes care of her husband, but she also has this very feral, I'm gonna get it done energy and drive and action to her. So that's why people love Millie.